Time for another week of Immortal Behaviour. If you're new to the segment, we ask the great man, the Eighth, for things that are bobbling around in front of his mind. Let's start this week, Joey. The coaching carousel continues. Barrett and Manly, no need for an alibi. This is UGLY.
Yeah, it's a mess, but out of this chaos, hopefully something happens there at Manly. Their facilities aren't up to scratch. But I just got to say, you can't be using that as an excuse. You know, I don't want to talk about old days, but in Newcastle, we used to train somewhere where there wasn't even a toilet there. And we'll win premierships. But I worry about the long-term survival of Manly. I really worry about it. We have to have a team over there. So many juniors and so much footies. Rugby league is played over there.
Okay, if that means that Barrett's gone, which we assume, does he coach next year at an NRL club, do you believe?
No. I think he'll have a year off. He may get a job as an assistant, but I think there won't be a head coach for Trent next year. I think he'll end up somewhere at Penrith eventually.
The Melbourne Storm. Health check on them. Where do you have them? So if I said Andrew Johns, your power ranking, so to speak, top four, where are the Melbourne Storm?
I don't think they can win the comp.
Wow.
Yeah, I put a red pen through them. When they got those injuries on the weekend, I saw Cameron Smith in particular, the way he went down with that back injury and the look on his face and the way he was touching his legs, look, that you can also, it's nerve pain.
Yeah.
And that's what is the source of that is some sort of bulging disc in the lower back. Now they don't go away overnight. They either have to have an operation and get the disc shaved, or it's a long term of doing nothing. So he's not going to be 100%.
Wow.
I don't think they can win it.
Victor Radley probably would have had his paws all over the Dally M Rookie of the Year. Suspension has hurt him, so he's ineligible for that. You do lose 3 points when you're suspended for a week. If you get suspended twice, you're Gonskis, you're out of the running. Andrew Johns, 2001, you missed by a B's. You were just one short. Yeah. What do you think about all this?
I think I put a stray elbow into Adam Dykes' head, which I'm sorry, I've apologised a few times for it. And I copped it 1 week and lost the Dally M, which I couldn't care less looking back. But I think the phrase best and fairest has gone out. We should just have the best. Victor Radley, we all know he's the Rookie of the Year. He's been the best player head and shoulders. He'll be playing for Australia and New South Wales within 2 years, so he should be Rookie of the Year.
Whether you're pointing the finger at Shane Flanagan, if you're Andrew Fafita, or Jim Dimmick, how do you feel the Sharks handled this scenario?
They handled it well as a club. I have to say, I don't really have a problem with it. I think he went over the top, Andrew Fafita, but we all know that's his personality. That's who he is. He's passionate, does things spontaneously, doesn't think before he does things, and I like to see that fire in the belly. Look, it wasn't the right thing to do, and it's probably a silly thing to do, and he probably regrets it.
Game 29 this week, by the way, and he could win the Dally M in Game 30. That's remarkable. Kalen Ponga, of course, that's who we refer to. But now, all of a sudden, this talk, and Jonathan Thurston spoke about how he almost went to rugby union, talk that Kalen Ponga on New Zealand TV, that he could one day be an All Black.
Yeah, I think he would walk into the team maybe as an inside centre or eventually maybe a number 10 in rugby union. Well, what do you say about Kalen? He's a world-class athlete. Probably similar to Sonny Bill in a way, where Sonny Bill was one of the great rugby league players, but he felt like he was boxed in rugby league and went to rugby union. Now he's an international superstar in sport, gets paid $1 million from Adidas. So I can understand why Kalen Ponga would want to play for the All Blacks. Without doubt, the All Blacks are the greatest sporting organisation in the whole world. So worrying thing, best thing, he's on contract for another 4 years at Newcastle. But it wouldn't surprise me at the end of that, he swaps over. What does the NRL do about it? Well, no one's bigger than the game. If Kalen Ponga decides to go, I wish him all the best, but there's always going to be another Kalen Ponga coming through. 6
to go, play on, says the Eighth. Rightio, we do this each and every week where Joey puts his virtual CEO cap on and we do some signings here. So this week the theme...
CEO.
This week the theme, we're talking about players who are playing against each other this weekend. So let's start. Luke Brooks or Daly Cherry Evans for Team Joey?
Luke Brooks.
Luke Brooks. Solomon Akata or Wanga Blake?
Wanga Blake. I think he'll play Origin next year.
What a player. Left, centre, unbelievable. Cohen Hess or Tepai Maroa?
I'd go Tepai Maroa. Playing in a struggling team. Watched him closely last week against the Storm. He was dynamite. I think you got hold of him and gave him a few more parameters how to play, I think he'd be a top-line player.
We've already asked about Hodgson and Cook. Let's go to an old head. Sia Soliola, you need in your team, or John Sutton?
John Sutton.
John Sutton. Ash Taylor or Cameron Munster?
Cameron Munster.
Cameron Munster, you did that one easy. Blake Ferguson or Corey Oates?
At this stage of their
Yeah,
careers?
right now.
Corey Oates.
Corey Oates, Valentine Holmes or Kalen Ponga?
Ponga. That's a hard one.
That's a hard one.
He's the best player in the world at the moment, Valentine Holmes.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Tarek Sims or Josh Jackson?
Tarek.
Tarek Sims. And I'm going to ask you one more question. If you had to choose the Clive Churchill medal winner now, who do you see up there, Andrew Johns?
Sam Burgess.
Sam Burgess
Yeah.
for South Sydney. That's another week of Immortal Behaviour. We'll see you next week.